Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
WRAL News is following breaking news this morning. Shots were fired in a Raleigh neighborhood, leaving people who live there worried. We are taking you to the crime scene, and we are showing you what police were walking into. Plus, parents, heads up, extra security will be at Cary High School today because a teenager was shot and another teen is accused of doing it. This morning, we're showing you the video of the moment shots were fired, causing school lockdowns.
And it's a chilly start. Our temperatures are in the 30s and 40s this morning. I'll show you what it'll feel like as you step out the door.
And you may want to prepare for another weekend of travel trouble in West Raleigh. We're going to tell you about the event scheduled at the Lenovo Center on the last weekend of the fair. If you remember last weekend, a lot of traffic. Got a copy and paste situation this week, most likely. Thanks for waking up and joining me this morning on WRAL News on Fox 50. I am Chris Lovingood. It is a gorgeous day to begin with a beautiful sunrise behind me. We've got Elizabeth Gardner tracking your weather as you begin the day off. And things are warm for the state fair, but we got a chill coming, Elizabeth.
We do. We take a live look here at downtown Raleigh through Fayetteville Street right here towards City Plaza. And of course, this is from our Jimmy V camera. It's chilly out there this morning. 45 degrees currently. Our dew point is a cool 42. So don't let that catch you by surprise. We are looking at 36 in Roxborough, 38 South Hill, 40 in Goldsboro, 42 Rocky Mount, 41 Southern Pines. So it's chilly out there. Our temperatures are running from almost 15 to a little over 20 degrees colder than this time yesterday. So that's a pretty big drop. A bit breezy this afternoon. North wind 10 to 15 miles per hour, and beautiful weather this afternoon at the State Fair with temperatures in the mid 70s. A front comes through tomorrow that'll bring us just a tiny sprinkle. I'll show you when to expect that coming up. Ken?
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. You've seen the usual congestion building this morning, really on the Beltline. It's the southern loop of the Beltline. It's mainly when you get past Lake Wheeler Road and Gorman Street. You come around Jones Franklin Road, and in the northern loop, we're seeing the Beltline around Capitol Boulevard. That's a usual trouble spot this morning. The other trouble spot, really, US 1 coming in from Wake Forest this morning, and you can see the huge bumper-to-bumper traffic that's coming in. A lot of that has to do with traffic lights quite often, but you're looking at an 8-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest this morning. Those I-87 lanes coming into the capital city really free and clear this morning, just a 1-minute delay. I talked about the northern loop of the Beltline, those westbound lanes coming toward us this morning. You can see traffic has definitely picked up on the Beltline near Capitol Boulevard, but moving at a nice steady clip. If you're getting ready to head out this morning, you can always stay updated in news, weather, and traffic. WRAL News Plus, 101.5 HD3. You also have a couple of options if you don't have 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us at 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
WRAL News is working to learn why police were investigating at a neighborhood for hours this morning. We've got WRAL's Kelsey Coffey live outside the Raleigh Police Department. Kelsey, what have you learned from police this morning?
Chris, Raleigh police are working to piece together what happened in that neighborhood on Ash Avenue. We'll take you straight to video now from earlier this morning of that scene. You can see that both State Capitol Police and Raleigh police responded to this incident. A spokesperson with Raleigh police says they received a call about 8 shots fired overnight. Police were investigating at a home on Ash Avenue. They blocked off that street for several hours. We'll be sure to stay on top of this and keep you updated on whether anyone was hurt. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Raleigh police say a person was killed because of a car hitting them on Capitol Boulevard. The body was found around midnight near Calvary Drive. Police say the driver did not stay at the crime scene, but that person has since been found. It's just kind of unclear if they've been charged. WRAL News is working on learning that information and the identity of the victim and driver. New this morning, just before 1 a.m., we learned a man is dead because he was shot in Durham. Police say that shooting happened around 8:30 last night on East Weaver Street. What you're seeing here on your screen, this is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Notice police blocking access to an apartment complex. The man was taken to the hospital, and that's where he died. We are working to learn what led up to that shooting. And extra security will be at Cary High School today because a 15-year-old was shot, and the suspect is another teenager. This video here, this was the scene as Sky 5 was above it yesterday afternoon. A total of 4 schools were placed on lockdown because of this. WRAL's Brett Neese joins us live from the school. Brett, school leaders say they're being cautious in terms of having police there.
That's exactly right, Chris. And we've seen over the course of the morning as students have arrived, we watched as extra police officers were out here. They were actually out here at most of these entrances, including this one right here. And they have since left since the arrival happened, but we are expecting them to be out here throughout much of the day, that extra presence, because while the school is on this side of the road, that shooting happened on the other side. And I want you to watch this video and listen as the moments that those shots rang out. Just unbelievable cell phone video there capturing the fight and the shooting itself here at the end of the school day yesterday when kids were getting ready to go home. And we do know from police a 17-year-old is in custody at this point. They did seize at least 2 guns from this scene. A 15-year-old who was shot is expected to recover. We talked with both parents and students about what this was like at the end of the day.
I was trying to walk to Harris Teeter to go get something, and then I just see a bunch of people fighting, and then I hear the gunshots.
So officials tell us that those 2 teenagers at the center of all of this, they are not Wake County Public School students, but they do know each other. So we're working to learn more about that connection and where this investigation goes from here. We'll keep you updated. Live in Cary, Brett Neese, WRAL News.
Presidential campaigns are not letting up, trying to convince Americans to vote for them. First Lady Joe Biden will be in Asheville, Fayetteville, and Cary today. Former President Barack Obama will be supporting Vice President Kamala Harris in the Charlotte area. Meanwhile, J.D. Vance will be in Hoke and Union counties. North Carolina's 16 electoral votes are considered crucial to winning the White House. Trump and Harris are locked in a tight race in the state, with recent polls showing a slight edge for Trump. For more on the visits and the race, you can go to the NC Capital section of WRAL.com. And folks, just a reminder, you can plan your vote with the WRAL Voters Guide. Enter your address to find a sample ballot, our Q&A with candidates, check your voter registration, and early voting times and places. Go to WRAL.com and search the word vote. Your time is 8:07 this morning. Tonight and tomorrow, expect traffic delays if you're driving around West Raleigh. It is the final weekend of the fair, and 2 major concerts are happening at the Lenovo Center. Tonight, Little Big Town will perform at Lenovo. Then tomorrow, Rainbow Kitten Surprise will take the stage. Drivers sat in traffic for hours last weekend because of the events being held at the exact same time. The traffic blocked parts of Wade Avenue, I-40, and Western Boulevard. Tens of thousands of people tried to enter the NC State Fair or attend a sold-out Sabrina Carpenter concert at the Lenovo Center. And hey, be sure to stop by our tent to meet members of the WRAL team while you're at the fair. We'll be located in our typical spot on the northeast side of Dorton Arena from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. You can come by to see meteorologist Mike Mays and Amy Wilmoth. Plus, from 1 to 2 p.m., you can meet Ashley Rowe and yours truly. Drivers in North Raleigh, you may want to expect some delays for the next few weeks. The northbound lanes of Falls of Neuse Road will be closed, and that will happen from Old Falls of Neuse Road to Wakefield Pines Drive starting today. It will last, again, 4 weeks and then move to the southbound lanes. Teams will be working to make improvements to the bridge. Detour signs will be posted to help drivers get around that closure. 3 NASA astronauts and a Russian cosmonaut are back on Earth this morning. They spent months aboard the International Space Station. Their SpaceX Dragon capsule splashed down off the coast of Florida just before 3:30 this morning. Their mission was supposed to end in August, but it was delayed because of problems with Boeing's Starliner capsule and Hurricane Milton. To Cumberland County, Fayetteville will break ground on the new Crown Event Center today. This is the original arena on your screen, which opened in 1967. The new one will serve as a replacement. The other facilities like the Coliseum, Expo Center, and the ballroom, those will stay open. The parking lot will close while work is underway, and that groundbreaking ceremony starts at 2 p.m. A former model says former President Donald Trump groped her. We are bringing you details of her accusations and explaining how Jeffrey Epstein figures into this. Plus, you may want to be careful about what you post on social media if you're looking for a job. This morning, hear how not being careful could cost you a job.
It's a chilly start this morning, but we are looking at a pleasant afternoon with highs in the 70s. And then I'm tracking a front that's going to bring us some temperature whiplash over the weekend. I'll show you coming up.
Look at this beautiful look at the North Hills this morning. Bob Ross would be proud. Just paint a little happy cloud there this morning as you're waking up this beautiful Friday. Watching WRAL News here on Fox 50. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is tracking that wonderful weather forecast we've got. This is the perfect weather to go to the NC State Fair.
It really is. And you have a choice, too, actually, because you kind of have Goldilocks weather today and then a little hotter tomorrow, a little cooler Sunday. So take your pick, something for everybody. Nice and clear, beautiful in Fayetteville, Raleigh, as well as Apex and Chapel Hill this morning. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. We're going to see this for the rest of the day. We had a cold front move through yesterday, and now we have a high pressure system to our north, and that is feeding some cool air in. So pretty chilly out there this morning. But once that high slides eastward tomorrow, ahead of our front, it's going to be warm. The front has a little bit of rain associated with it. It's not much, and so we're looking at the potential for just a quick sprinkle. That's all it would be as this cold front moves through. But behind it, it's really going to be a temperature thing. Temperatures will drop into the 60s. So we go from 81 Saturday to 65 on Sunday. It's a pretty big drop. Just be prepared for it. And then here's the front that'll bring us that drop. A little bit of cloud cover in the afternoon Saturday, and a few sprinkles will roll through, especially from Raleigh southward. You can see a little better chance of rain. I really feel like from Raleigh northward, our chance of rain is pretty minimal. And we'll give it about a 20% chance in our southern counties. So you can see here our forecast rainfall for the next 7 days, pretty much negligible. So we continue with this dry pattern. As we take a look at the drought monitor, last week we had completely clear conditions. Everything was looking fine. This week, 7% of the state is abnormally dry. I mean, we haven't had really any rain for the entire month of October, but we had so much rain the previous 3 months that we've been doing okay. But our northeastern counties there in North Carolina, not in our viewing area, but northeast of us, are abnormally dry now, and we still don't have any rain in the forecast for the next 7 days. It does make for a great fair weekend, though. We're nice and clear this morning. That sun coming up, looking beautiful. 76 today, 81 Saturday, 65 on Sunday. So just remember, it's going to be a good bit cooler for us on Sunday. SMU plays at Duke at 8 o'clock Saturday. Temperature will be in the mid-60s. If you're out tailgating, temperatures will be in the 70s. Should feel really comfortable. And looking ahead to Halloween, even though it'll be pretty chilly for us on Sunday and Monday, we're going to see a big rebound at the end of next week. So trick-or-treat time, 72, 5 o'clock at 7 o'clock, 68. And, just a pretty nice 7-day forecast. We're dry across the board. We have music for the mountains coming up on Sunday. It will be cool but dry coming up. We'll walk through hour by hour the forecast for the show. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Just a handful of incidents dotting our live traffic sensors this morning, but nothing really that's affecting you in any of the major roadways. Isolating the Beltline this morning. This is good news. The south side of the Beltline, no traffic to report. The northern loop of the Beltline, just a little bit of traffic around Capitol Boulevard, and that's where we're going to head out this morning. You can see traffic moving nicely in these westbound lanes coming toward us, really nice in both directions. On the southern loop of the Beltline, this is I-40 and Rock Quarry Road, and you can see traffic is moving nicely in both directions. For you eastbound travelers, you can see that sun glare right there, so just be careful with that. The other troubled spot was Wake Forest in terms of US 1 coming in from Wake Forest. It's really clearing up nicely, which is good news to report as we check those delay times coming into the capital city this morning. Here's what we're looking at. Just about 5 minutes. That was up to like 9-10 minutes a little while ago coming in from Wake Forest. And really the only other thing we have to report is those 87 lanes coming in, just a 1 minute delay. Good news this morning as you're heading out. Speaking of heading out, take us with you on the radio, WRAL News Plus. Stay updated on weather, news, and traffic. 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
New this morning, Denver Broncos wide receiver Josh Reynolds and another man were shot. Court documents reveal Reynolds and two friends left a strip club early last Friday. When they left, two vehicles followed and someone shot at Reynolds' truck. The Broncos say Reynolds' head and arm were shot and the injuries are minor. His friend was also shot and shattered glass injured a third man. Police arrested two men on suspicion of attempted murder, but neither have been charged. The Menendez brothers could be eligible for release immediately. That's according to the Los Angeles County District Attorney. Today, he's set to recommend a judge re-sentence both Menendez brothers. Eric and Lyle Menendez are serving a life in prison without parole sentence. That's because their parents were murdered in 1989. The DA's decision is happening because new evidence surfaced. It suggests their father abused them. If a judge agrees, the brothers could be eligible for parole immediately. A former Sports Illustrated swimsuit model has gone public with an allegation that former President Donald Trump groped her. Stacey Williams says this happened in 1993. She says convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein brought her to Trump Tower. The two were dating at the time. Williams says Epstein was in the room watching and smiling as Trump groped her.
Then the hands started moving, and they were on the side of my breasts, on my hips, back down to my butt, back up, sort of. Then they were just on me the whole time, and I froze.
After leaving Trump Tower, Williams claims Epstein berated her for allowing Trump to touch her. She soon cut ties with Epstein, and she says, well, she was unaware of his predatory behavior. She also says she received a postcard from Trump shortly after what happened. It reads, quote, "Stacey, you're home away from home. Love, Donald," end quote. The Trump campaign has since denied Williams' allegations, calling it a fake story contrived by Kamala Harris's campaign. America has its first national security artificial intelligence strategy. President Biden signed the executive order to harness new and powerful AI tech. The goal is to embrace the potential power of AI with security-based restrictions. For example, it prohibits using AI to deploy nuclear weapons. It also bans agencies from using the technology for things that, quote, "do not align with democratic values," end quote. Some of this order will expire after Biden ends his term in office. Other world powers, including China, are already using AI in their militaries. This political season, it could be difficult to not share your opinion. However, if you are in the market for a new job, not being careful what you post, it could cost you a job. Chanley Painter explains how.
Social media lets people voice their opinions to the world, but preliminary research finds folks on the hunt for a job may want to avoid publicly posting about certain topics, especially if the content is political in nature.
You feel like I should have a right to have an opinion. If you're looking for work, not a very good idea.
Professor Jason Thatcher of the University of Colorado Boulder is studying this subject. According to his initial findings, posting about hot-button political matters can cause some hiring managers to overlook a candidate's job qualifications and pass them over for an interview.
We've been working on looking at immigration, and what we find out is that if you're posting memes one side or the other around immigration, washes out the job-related information entirely. Right? So the more volatile the topic, the more powerful that social media information becomes.
Thatcher believes other topics like abortion and the January 6th Capitol riot may trigger similar results. He says some employers may see a candidate's political expressions as part of their personality. Depending on the employer's views, they could think the prospective hire may be hard to work with.
And what we find pretty consistently is if I agree with your party affiliation, so if you're a Republican or a Democrat, or I agree with you on the issue, okay, I'm more likely to think you're a good person to hire.
Don't think people are actually looking? Data from a career builder survey back in 2018 found 70% of companies said they researched the social media profiles of their job candidates.
That was Chanley Painter reporting. Thatcher recommends keeping your profile set to private if you do talk about politics. Governor Roy Cooper made a trip to the state fair. He toured the fairgrounds yesterday with State Agriculture Commissioner Steve Troxler. Governor Cooper also donated cans of food and part of Hunger Relief Day. He then visited the Bright Branch Farms booth. That farm is based in Henderson County, and they felt the effects of Hurricane Helene.
This year, the fair is particularly important because we have so many of our people from Western North Carolina who have traditionally come to the fair, have come despite this storm, with many of them having had damage because they've considered this to be an important part of their lives, an important part of the fair.
Governor Cooper has attended the state fair every year of his administration it was held. It's all about the wings today in the Home Chef Challenge at the State Fair. Yesterday, these culinary competitors stood out in the Pig in a Crockpot Challenge. Domino Ireland earned third place with his Cerdo Verde Facile with chips for dipping. Second place went to Yvonne Payton Davis with her Aloha Y'all Pineapple Bowl with coconut rice. Aloha Y'all Pineapple Bowl, that's a mouthful there. And the blue ribbon went to Jennifer Curie for her Korean Crockpot BBQ with cucumber kimchi. Get ready to see plenty of zombies in downtown Fayetteville tonight. The city is hosting its annual zombie walk from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Everyone of all ages, you're invited to put on your best undead look and go downtown. There'll even be a costume contest, as you know, at 7:30 at the Market House, and the zombie walk starts at 8. There will be food trucks, pro wrestling, and live music. You gotta look at this. Babies at a NICU in Nevada celebrated their first Halloween a couple days early. Doctors and nurses held a costume party for the babies and their parents this week. It's an annual event at the hospital. A lot of places do it. I'm pretty sure here locally as well. Look at them cute little babies. Heads up, drivers, get ready for more travel trouble in West Raleigh this weekend. We're talking about the 2 events that could affect travel along that last weekend of the state fair.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Happy Friday morning. Your time is 8:26 and I'm Chris Lovingood. Let's get your day started off right with your forecast with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner.
Such a pretty day out there. We take a live look at temperatures in Durham and Raleigh at 45. Fayetteville is at 47. Beautiful sunshine. It's a little bit cooler than it was this time yesterday, but we're still looking at a really pleasant afternoon. Some 30s out there still. 37 Lewisburg, 39 Tarboro, 39 in South Hill. Walking the dog this morning, pretty good hefty jacket will feel good, but you can shed it this afternoon. We climb on up into the mid-70s under sunny skies this evening. We're back into the 60s, Ken.
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Things have definitely calmed down quite a bit. You can see from our traffic maps, a lot of incidents dotting our sensors this morning, but nothing really that's affecting any of the major roads. As we isolate the Beltline this morning, you can see the southern loop of the Beltline free and clear. We're just seeing a little bit of a slowdown around Lake Boone Trail. That's that one lane trying to get onto Wade Avenue and to I-40 westbound. So that's really what that slowdown is all about. But all the other major routes are delay free this morning. If you're getting ready to head out, listen to us on the radio at 101.5 HD3.
Extra security will be at Cary High School today because a 15-year-old was shot. Cell phone video shows the moments the shots were fired during a fight. Police say a 17-year-old is in custody, and they also seized 2 weapons. School leaders say the 2 are not Wake County students. And starting today, drivers in North Raleigh will experience delays because of work along Falls of Noose Road. That work starts on the northbound lanes from the intersections of Old Falls of Noose Road to Wakefield Pines Drive. That project will last about 4 weeks, and the teams will shift to the southbound side after that. Next on Fox 50, the stops from presidential campaigns in our state today.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
WRAL is following 2 breaking news stories in Raleigh. First, a person is dead because of a hit-and-run crash, and people in a Raleigh neighborhood are concerned because of a shooting there.
And it's still chilly out there this morning. A number of folks in the 30s and some low 40s. I'll show you how much colder it is than this time yesterday.
Plus, a teenager is recovering this morning because police say another teenager shot them. Today, a look at the extra security at Cary High School. A lot going on this morning, this Friday. Beautiful Friday to wake up. We made it, folks. We are at the end of the work week. Thanks for joining us here on WRAL News on Fox 50. I am Chris Lovingood. If you look behind me, cool looking skies, not a cloud in sight. Same thing behind meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's going to be a really kind of chiller start to the day, but things will warm up.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly out there right now, 30s and 40s, but we'll have a quick warm up. It's 8:30 right now. Typically, when we hit 9 o'clock, we really start to see those temperatures jumping, especially with all this sunshine that we're seeing here in Apex and all across the viewing area. It's currently still 45 in the Triangle, but we'll start to jump into the 50s, most likely in the next 30 minutes. But some 30s are still lingering, 36 in Roxborough, 39 in South Hill, 43 now in Southern Pines, 40 in Goldsboro. Our temperatures are running about 15 to 20 degrees colder than it was this time yesterday. So that's a pretty big difference in a day's time. A bit breezy this afternoon, gusting out of the north 10 to 15 miles per hour later today. But a beautiful afternoon at the fair nonetheless, with lots of sunshine, highs in the mid-70s. A cold front comes through tomorrow in the afternoon and brings just a small chance for showers. I'll show you who's most likely to see it coming up. Ken?
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Quite a bit of incidents dotting our live traffic map this morning, but There are a couple of them we want to bring to your attention just so you know about it. This one in particular on Glenwood Avenue in the eastbound lanes near Briar Creek Parkway. You can see a little bit of a slowdown there in those eastbound lanes of Glenwood Avenue. Probably it's going to give it 3 to 5 minute delay, if that. But I'll keep an eye on it and let you know how much it's going to continue to affect your traffic, your commute this morning, particularly if you're using those 70 eastbound lanes. This crash on Highway 401, right near Tryon Road, it just happened in the last 15 minutes. I'm not seeing any delays in the area. Probably just a minor crash. I'll keep an eye on it to see if it's going to affect you in any way. Look at this, the Beltline, free and clear this morning. The southern loop, the Beltline, as well as the northern loop. This slowdown that you're seeing right there is the usual Lake Boone Trail. You know that far lane trying to get over to Wade Avenue, then onto I-40 westbound? That's what you're seeing there. So nothing really major to report. You know all about that. So if you're heading out this morning, take us with you on the radio, 101.5 HD3. Anywhere in the triangle, you can listen to us, or we've got you covered at 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
Breaking news, we are working to learn why police were investigating at a neighborhood for hours this morning. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey was there working to learn more about this hours-long investigation.
Raleigh police are working to find out what exactly happened in that neighborhood on Ash Avenue. We'll take you straight to video now of the scene earlier this morning. You can see that both State Capitol Police and Raleigh Police responded to this incident. A spokesperson with Raleigh Police says they received a call about 8 shots fired overnight. Police were investigating at a home on Ash Avenue. They blocked off that street for several hours. We'll stay on top of this and let you know whether anyone was hurt. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
We're also following breaking news this morning. Police say that a person was killed after a car hit them on Capitol Boulevard. That body was found this morning around midnight-ish. The thing is, this happened on Capitol Boulevard again around Cavalry Drive. Police say the driver did not stay on scene, but they have since arrested the person. We are working to learn about the charges and the name of the person who died. And new this morning, just before 1 a.m., we learned a man is dead because he was shot in Durham. Police say this shooting happened around 8:30 last night on East Weaver Street. The video you are seeing here is from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Notice police blocking access to an apartment complex. The victim died in the hospital, not there on the scene. WRAL News is working to learn what led up to this shooting. Students and staff will notice more security at Cary High School this morning. The school is being cautious because a teenager was shot and set 4 schools into lockdown. What you're seeing here behind me, this is a view from Sky 5 as police was there. WRAL's Brett Neese was there this morning as students and security arrived.
For about 30 minutes or so, a number of extra police officers were here outside Cary High School, including this entrance right here to one of the parking lots. After the school arrival, including buses and students arriving in their own cars, those officers have left. But I want you to watch and listen to this video that shows you the moments that these gunshots rang out yesterday. That is unbelievable cell phone video of the fight and the shooting that happened across the street in a shopping center from Cary High School. Police tell us they do have a 17-year-old in custody. They seized 2 weapons from this scene, and a 15-year-old that was shot is expected to recover after all of this. This happening right at the end of the school day. Multiple schools put on lockdown. This is a parent talking about what it's like to have a child at one of those schools.
I had a couple people asking me, how is it like to be a parent now, 2024? And I honestly couldn't tell you, like, it's just a hard feeling. Very, very scary feeling.
Officials tell us that both of these teens at the center of all of this are not Wake County Public School students, but they do know each other. We're working to learn more about that connection to each other, and as this investigation continues to unfold, we'll keep you updated. In Cary, Brett Neese, WRAL News.
Presidential campaigns are not letting up, trying to convince Americans to vote for them. First Lady Joe Biden will be in Asheville, Fayetteville, and Cary today. Former President Barack Obama is supporting Vice President Kamala Harris in the Charlotte area. Meanwhile, J.D. Vance will be in Hoke and Union counties. North Carolina's 16 electoral votes are considered crucial to winning the White House. Trump and Harris are locked in a very tight race in the state, with recent polls showing a slight edge for Trump. Drivers in North Raleigh, you should expect some delays for the next few weeks. The northbound lanes of Falls of Neuse Road will be closed from Old Falls of Neuse Road to Wakefield Pines Drive starting today. That will last 4 weeks And then the project moves to the southbound lanes. Crews will be working to make improvements to the bridge. Detour signs will be posted to help drivers get around this closure. And tonight and tomorrow, expect traffic delays if you're driving around West Raleigh. It's the final weekend of the fair, and 2 major concerts are happening at the Lenovo Center. A similar set of events happened last weekend. Remember all this? All the traffic, drivers sitting for hours? The traffic blocked parts of Wade Avenue, I-40, and Western Boulevard. And that happened as tens of thousands of people tried to enter the fair or attend a sold-out Sabrina Carpenter concert at Lenovo. Tonight, Little Big Town will be performing there, and then tomorrow, Rainbow Kitten Surprise will take the stage. Today, we expect to learn more about the assistance the agricultural industry is receiving after Helene hit western North Carolina. The U.S. Agricultural Secretary will be in Asheville today. He'll meet with local and state officials, emergency management, food bank, and, of course, staff there and other places. Then he is holding a press conference to share the work the federal Agricultural Department is doing to help producers and countryside communities affected by Helene. A former travel softball coach that is, from Fayetteville is now in prison because they pleaded guilty to sex crimes against a minor. Bobby McElvine, also known as Coach Mac, pleaded guilty to charges of sexual battery and indecent liberties with a minor. He was sentenced to 16 to 29 months in prison, followed by 3 years of probation. McElvine was arrested in August of last year. A celebration for the renovation at a Durham elementary school. It's happening this morning. Durham public school leaders will host a groundbreaking ceremony for Glenn Elementary School. Superintendent Anthony Lewis will be there to speak along with other school leaders, and that is happening at 9:30 this morning, just an hour from now. Shohei Ohtani won't pitch in the World Series, but that isn't stopping his fans from flocking to LA to watch him play. Hundreds of thousands of fans from Japan have visited the City of Angels to see him play. Many fans stayed in LA's Little Tokyo district during the regular season, and the businesses there say they are having trouble keeping merchandise on the shelves. Folks, you can watch the World Series right here on Fox 50. How about that? Coverage starts tonight at 7. WRAL News on Fox 50 will air after the game.
And Chris, that is the Ohtani effect that is leaving a trail of cash from Japan all the way to LA. This is a live look right now at Dodger Stadium, where Game 1 of the World Series will be played tonight. It's just after 5:30 in the morning there, so the sun's not up just yet. By the way, it'll look like this tonight. It'll be dark for the game as well in LA. But that Tourism and Convention Group in LA says 230,000 people have visited LA from Japan this year, and 80 to 90% of them are going to a Dodgers game. There are 8 Japanese-speaking tours per day at Dodger Stadium as well. And you want to take it all the way back to Japan? This is a pop-up store in Japan ahead of Game 1 of the World Series right there. Everybody looking for that Shohei Ohtani gear. This is his first year with the LA Dodgers, and he's taking them to the World Series. They are hoping that he can bring them home a championship.
I believe the Dodgers are getting what they paid for, Jeff. Fox 50 and WRAL have you covered Sunday for NFL football. Big NFC South game to start. The Falcons versus Bucks. That kicks off at 1 Sunday on Fox 50. And for Sunday Night Football on WRAL, this is an old school matchup, folks. We have the Cowboys at the 49ers. Kickoff for that game is at 8:20. Your time is 8:40 this morning. More restaurants are taking onions off their menus because of that deadly E. coli outbreak at McDonald's. Hear why one expert says North Carolinians should not be worried about this. Plus, imagery made from an humanoid robot. It'll be auctioned off for the first time ever. Why some people, though, are concerned it may take away from human stories. Got another treat for you this morning. A live look at Wilson. Look at that this morning. Yesterday I said they weren't whirling, they were, and today the same is true. Sunny skies on tap for a beautiful fall weekend. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is back after the break with when we can expect a cool down. Getting a live look at White Lake this morning. Beautiful blue skies, clear waters. Oh, look at that bird across the... You could not have timed a better time to come here and look at the White Lake camera we have this morning. We've got meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking Raleigh behind her. No birds behind you, though, Elizabeth. Bad timing.
No, but we've got the Science Museum. I mean, that counts for something. Amazing place here. North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. And a bunch of construction here off of Jones Street as well. But you can see that beautiful blue sky up above. 45 degrees right now, so it's pretty chilly as you're heading out the door, and we're seeing cool temperatures pretty much everywhere. High pressure builds in today. It is rotating clockwise above us, pushing in some cooler air today. We stay dry ahead of tomorrow's front, and notice there is some rain along this front, but it's not very much. We're going to see just a few sprinkles, maybe some light showers in our southern counties. This afternoon, gusting 10 to 15 miles per hour, but beautiful at the fair. 76 in Raleigh, 75 in Durham, 80 degrees in Fayetteville. I mean, just a beautiful afternoon. And here is proof. Live look at the NC State Fair this morning. Still pretty quiet out there, but the gates open in just 15 minutes. The rides start at 10, so it's about to get pretty busy. It's going to be a busy day. I love this sunset from the State Fair from Carmen D'Amelio. She sent us that one. A beautiful view there. I'm sure you got some great State Fair pictures you'd like to share with us. Go to WRAL.com and search Weather Watchers. At the State Fair the next 3 days, some big changes, but something for everybody. 76, which is what I would call Goldilocks, and then pretty warm Saturday at 81, and then pretty chilly on Sunday at 65 for the high temperature. And we're going to see the cooler temperatures because of our front. Our front is going to roll through and bring us a few sprinkles. We'll pause it right there at around 4 o'clock. A very small chance, 10 to 20% chance in the triangle. A little bit bigger chance down to the south that we would have a quick shower, but that's probably going to blow through in about 15 or 20 minutes. And so the rain for Saturday is not going to be a big deal. It shouldn't affect your weekend plans. 70 is our normal high, so 81 that we see on Saturday is well above it. And then we're cool for Sunday and Monday. Then we start to see our temperatures rebounding again. Outdoor plans this weekend, yes, we may see some cloud cover a little bit on Saturday and a sprinkle, a little slightly better chance down to the south. Sunday is going to be nice and bright, but much cooler. Football Friday tonight, looking great. Temperatures will be in the 60s. Skies will be clear. Should be very pleasant. And then on Sunday, music for the mountains. It is going to be chilly. Bring your jacket along. It starts at 6 o'clock, 61 degrees, and then falling into the low 50s toward the end of the concert. Come out and support all those folks in Western North Carolina that need your help. We're proud sponsors of that event. Even though it's chilly at the beginning of the week, we jump right on up to 80 degrees on Thursday. So Halloween looks warm again.
You cannot say that you are going to be bored this weekend or week. We got a lot of concerts and festivals that are happening. So let's take a look at the best bets, starting with a spooky ballet. Find the courage to find your dark side. The intriguing story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The Carolina Ballet is putting on this show through November 3rd at the Fletcher Opera Theater, and tickets are still available, starting at $27. Plus, there are two big concerts this weekend at the Lenovo Center. Little Big Town and Sugarland will hit the stage tonight. Tickets are still available if you want to go. Then tomorrow, Rainbow Kitten Surprise will perform. That band was founded here in North Carolina. They started playing together in Boone. And the Clayton Harvest Festival is happening this weekend. This event is set up in Town Square on East Main Street, and it's free to attend. There will be carnival rides, a Latin American festival, and a variety of vendors, music, and food. Folks, you can get a lot of information on these events and more by going to WRAL.com and searching the words Out and About. Beyonce is set to join Vice President Kamala Harris on the campaign trail. The singer will take part in a Harris rally. That's in Houston, Texas tonight. She'll also perform at the rally. Harris has received the support of other performers such as Bruce Springsteen, Eminem, and Taylor Swift. Singer Willie Nelson is also expected to appear at that rally. Beyonce's 2016 hit Freedom has become Harris's anthem on the campaign trail. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump will be in the Lone Star State as well. He will be recording an interview with Joe Rogan. The Joe Rogan Experience has the largest podcast audience in the United States. Trump will record that interview at Rogan's studio in Austin, Texas. A release date for the episode, it hasn't been announced, not yet. Rogan's show has reportedly been in talks with about an interview with Harris, although no official conversation has been set. Former CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment, Vince McMahon, is at the center of a sexual abuse lawsuit. That lawsuit, filed on behalf of 5 former WWE ring boys, allege McMahon knowingly enabled a WWE employee to sexually exploit children in the 1980s. It says former ringside announcer Melvin Phillips used his position to lure in young boys with the promise of meeting famous wrestlers. Phillips died in 2012. That lawsuit alleges McMahon knew Phillips was abusing children. His attorney called the allegations false. The WWE did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Onions are still on the menu in North Carolina fast food restaurants after they were selected to be removed from restaurants because of a deadly E. coli outbreak. The latest restaurants to make the change, KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut. Nearly 50 people have gotten sick and one person died because of this outbreak at McDonald's. No sicknesses have been reported in our state. One food safety expert says there's no reason North Carolinians should worry.
We need to understand where our products come from. That's certainly helpful, and traceback is helpful in that regard. But doesn't mean we need to go out and, not buy onions at this point, in North Carolina. No.
The E. coli outbreak is tied to McDonald's Quarter Pounder and its slivered onions found across 10 states, including Colorado, Nebraska, and Wyoming. Yesterday, a man in Colorado filed a $50,000 lawsuit against the company. McDonald's says that Taylor Farms, based in California, they are the ones that are the source of the potentially tainted onions. A humanoid robot's imagery will be up for auction for the first time ever. Sotheby's will auction off this piece of work titled AI God. It's happening later this month. The humanoid created artwork could be sold for up to $180,000, and the hope is to start a discussion about how people interact with technology and artificial intelligence. And while some are more accepting of this transition, others fear it may take away from human stories.
I personally wouldn't want to see is that we start to care about machine stories, because who cares what machines have to say? I care about human stories. I care about what humans have to say. And I think art is a way of expressing that.
There's also the concern that by using AI, training on other artists' work, it's kind of stealing their work in that regard. The art will go on auction October 31st through November 7th. An action-packed franchise marks a movie milestone and first look at comedies on the big and small screens. Ashley Dvorkin has a look at these stories in today's Hollywood Nation.
I will sing when I am ready to sing.
Jolie's musical role, a couple of comedic first looks, and John Wick returns in the Hollywood Nation.
People keep asking if I'm back.
10 years ago on October 24th, audiences first met John Wick. As the Keanu Reeves-led action-packed movie marks a decade, Lionsgate is celebrating with special events, merch, and more, including the original film back in theaters November 3rd and 6th, and a special discount code at the John Wick Experience in Las Vegas. It all culminates with the release of the spin-off Ballerina from the world of John Wick next year.
Do your own thing. And what's that? Living paycheck to paycheck?
Keke Palmer and SZA star in today's first looks. A trailer was released for their comedy, One of Them Days. The two play best friends and roommates who discover one of their boyfriends has blown their rent money, leading the duo to go to extremes to avoid eviction. The film is in theaters January 24th, 2025.
Engaged? You cannot marry a murderer.
Peacock has a look at season 2 of Based on a True Story, starring Kaylee Cuoco and Chris Messina. The series picks up with their characters Ava and Nathan focused on parenthood, but pulled back into their true crime obsession after a series of new murders. It returns November 21st. The official trailer for Maria was also released with Angelina Jolie as opera singer Maria Callas. The movie follows the American Greek soprano retreating to Paris in her final days after life in the public eye. It's in select theaters November 27th and on Netflix December 11th.
That was Ashley Dvorkin reporting. And before we go to break, here is a look at your winning lottery numbers. We'll get you another check on weather and traffic in just a bit.